Good night, everyone. Good night. Welcome once again. Welcome to another episode of our podcast. And as you know, I'm your host, everyone. I'm not sure if I'll be joined by some of the other guys, but if they're not going to join, so be it. Show us to go on. So, on a Friday, once EPL action is taking place, you know that we're here to break down all the action over the weekend for you guys, especially for our bettors, because I know a lot of you guys are interested in getting our predictions for some of the games. So, we're here to do that. But before I get to all of that, I just want to speak on the Chelsea situation because you know that it has been making the rounds and a lot of Chelsea fans are up in arms about the whole entire situation and UK government sanctioned Roman Abramovich and then the club was also sanctioned for a while, but there are reports that the sale is back on. So the UK government has allowed for talks to continue in regards to selling the club. But I think a lot of Chelsea fans don't well, nobody really likes noise around the club, and especially those Chelsea fans right now. I'm sure that they're not enjoying this moment with their team in a lot of disarray in terms of ownership and all of those things. So I hope that they get this sorted out. But a lot of people are saying that one of the persons that were pushing for Chelsea and Roman was an Arsenal supporter because he's a UK MP. So an MP in the UK government who's an Arsenal fan was one of those who were pushing for whatever happened to Chelsea to happen. So I don't really know about that part in terms of I know that he is here, but in terms of pushing it, I'm not sure. But it has been a whole lot of nice around the club, and as I said, I'm sure that Chelsea fans really want this to be over with, and I know a lot of them are saying that they want an owner who loves football and one who is interested in football, not the man who have all about the banks and all of those sort of things. They want someone that is interested in football so they can keep on winning momentum. While I know a lot of rival fans are celebrating whatever has happened at Chelsea, while some are just quietly sitting back and just watching how everything unfolds and see how it transpires. Because at the end of the day, we're all football fans, and I personally wouldn't want the Chelsea to go down. I personally want to see them keep staying up and keep that top four race and challenging for titles, play well in Europe. I want to see how that continue because at the end of the day, even though we're enemies in England, we still want to see these teams do well in Europe. So I personally want everything with Chelsea to sort out so we can probably get back to playing some football again. Yeah, we know that if they go down, the next team will rise, and as you can see right now, Newcastle is rising. But at the end of the day, Chelsea has kind of built up an history over the past, like let's say, last 20 years thereabouts. So yeah, so that everything gets sorted out. And here's editor in chief saying that sales open for Chelsea again. Yeah, man, I just said it, man, that the sales are open. They allowed it today, but people are still up in arms about it. They're saying that they think some of the sanctions are too extreme. And even if you look at it, remember that Roman has been banned from traveling to England for a while now, so it could be seen as that they wanted to get rid of him a long time ago, and then whatever is ongoing between Ukraine and Russia was just a fuel to add into the fire to try to get rid of him as quickly as possible. That's what I think. You guys in the comment section can tell me what you think of the whole scenario and what you think of the Chelsea situation. But that aside, I have to look at some of the games, and there are what 4 games yesterday in the Premier League, and as I mentioned before, Chelsea they played against Norwich. They rushed to a 2-0 lead. Trevor Chalobah with one of the goals, and then you have Mason Mount, and Mason Mount has been very underrated. Let's be honest. I've seen this guy from he was at Vitesse and seen his growth at Derby. Then he came into Chelsea, and a lot of people thought that he was a favorite of a lot of managers, and he wasn't all that. But a lot of managers came in and they saw him and they stood by him, and he has repaid the trust because I believe he has what 8 goals and 7 assists in the Premier League this season so far. And mind you, this guy has been out a little while. There are a few matches that he missed, and if you really look at that, a lot of people would really want that to be sorted out ASAP. So, if you look at it, people really want to see that get started. So, Mason Mount has been one of those driving forces at Chelsea, and whenever Mason Mount plays good, Chelsea tend to play well. So that is one right there. And then, as I mentioned, the 1 by 3 goes to 1, good victory for them. Norwich they got a late one, but wasn't to be. And For some weird reason, Norwich seem to be like trying to create some problem in the second half of the season, but a little bit too late for them. So nothing really going in Norwich favor. So they lost 3-1 to Chelsea at their home, and if it's not already been confirmed, we already did. We already called it on the show that Norwich is going down, and they're a yo-yo team. They're going to go down. They're going to do well in championship once again, and guess what? They're going to come back up, and it's just the cycle just continues. That is what we have become accustomed to when it comes down to a team like Norwich. So nothing much there from them, but Chelsea has looked better ever since the bench Lukaku, Kai Havertz chipping in with some goals, and I've heard reports saying that he is the man that they're going to put all the faith and trust in to lead their line of attack going forward until let's see if everything eases up on Chelsea side that they might probably try to price Haaland away from Borussia Dortmund come summer, even though we know that there are a lot of people chasing his signature, so that will be a tough one. But I know that Tuchel likes Haaland, so that is one that Chelsea fans can keep an eye out for, and let's see how it goes from there. But as I said, easy 3-1 victory. And then the next game that we saw was Southampton, who took on Newcastle. And Newcastle now, they're on what? 9 match unbeaten run. 9 games they have gone unbeaten, and they have won, I think, 5 out of the last 6 or 6 out of the last 7, I believe. I stand corrected, but I believe it's somewhere thereabouts. And it goes to show one thing. Remember that when we gave our mid-season prediction, a lot of people had Newcastle going down. But I was one of them who said that I want to see what they do in the transfer market and how much players will they sign, and not just how much players, but how much quality players they can get in. And in the window, as we pointed out on our show that we did, they brought in Chris Wood, they brought in Matt Target, they brought in Bruno Guimaraes, they also brought in Kieran Trippier and also Dan Burn. Trippier, unfortunately, has been down for a while now, and I don't think he'll be back before the season is end. So Trippier is a huge miss for them because he was integral to the run that they're on, and Eddie Howe, he has just come in and just changed the environment totally. Newcastle have been playing some good football in a sense, and in the second half of some of the games, they haven't looked that brightly. But the thing is that they come out in games and get on the front foot, and once they get on the front foot, they tend to score goals. Once they score goals, then they can sit back a bit, but sometimes they invite too much pressure on themselves. And yesterday they show a difference to their game. Normally they are the team that normally scored first, but yesterday it was Southampton who scored first, and then they equalized through Chris Wood, who finally got off the mark. Good ball by John Jones again, and it goes to show what coaching can do because we already know that John Jones can play ball, but problem for him is that he's a player that is inconsistent. So he needs a manager right in his ears to keep on saying that, hey, hold on ahead, play some football. And since Eddie was taken over, he has looked a different player. Jolinton was out of this game also. St. Mark's, who beginning of the season, because we're dependent on him right now, it doesn't seem that way. They're more playing like a team. They're making a collective effort to get the W's and get the draws and keep on climbing the table. And they're now on what 31 points. And I think they just need probably 2 more wins to really cement their place as we're safe from relegation. And as I said, they scored through Chris Wood after a cross by Shelby. Then came the next goal. Dan Burn, the head ball back across, and there was the Brazilian Bruno Guimaraes on his full debut in terms of starting. And what a back heel kick it was, man. The whole entire stadium, the whole entire traveling fan section, the roof was off, man. And he's a player that I really like. I think he's a quality player. And unfortunately, Joe Linton was one who is down with an injury, and the guy get to take his place, and he did himself some justice, even though he was hauled off. I think around in the 60 plus minutes because of an apparent injury, but probably it was just more precautionary than anything else. So um, they'll end up winning that game by 2 goals to 1, and Newcastle are on a roll right now. And also, congrats to Leo. You won the coach of the month, and also Joel Matip. He won the Premier League Player of the Month last month. So congrats to both of them, and I hope that the form for Eddie will continue. But let's get into the next game, and that is Wolves against Watford. And I'm here wearing this jersey, as you can see the badge, Manchester United jersey, and I just have to shake my head at times on because everybody that get Watford and beat Watford to a pulp. Wolves yesterday, They got them, and as we called it on the show, that they were going to win, and they did beat them up by 4 goals to nil. And that last goal by Neves was some good, and that's a player that I really like. But um, it's nice to see that Raul Jimenez is back and scoring because this is a player that we know that once he was playing well, Wolves normally play well, and when he went down, you could see that everything for Wolves kind of went with him. So it's happy to see him back on the score sheet once again. Daniel Prudence he pounced on a mistake by Ben Foster because that was basically a gift by Ben Foster to him, and he did capitalize on it and just scored. And there's also an own goal in there. But otherwise from that, good performance from Wolves, good professional win from them. So it's good from them, and they just seem like a team that knows what they're about. Yes, they run a run, and then the run got altered. I mean, not altered, altered because yeah, this is what the Premier League is all about. Any team can beat any team on any given day. They were on a nice run until it was ended, and then after that, they have picked up a win against Watford as we expected because I said they're the whipping boys, and it does lead to the thing that Man United got the same team and got chance after chance after chance after chance, yet they couldn't put away any of them. So Watford, they're not so your team, and Watford is going right back down to the championship where they belong. So yeah, right there they belong. And big up to the comment section. I say Michelle, I say Owen, I say Lataya, editor in chief, as I mentioned before, Jeremy Watson, big up on himself. And to everybody that is watching and commenting, big up on yourself. But come on, let's get some comments in, man. Next team now was Leeds. Jesse March came in first match, they looked good defensively, but against Aston Villa, it was a total different kettle of fish, and it was the Coutinho show once again. Coutinho was good in that game. Also, Matty Cash, Danny Ings, a lot of these players are doing well, and that's now what 3 wins in a row for Villa. And I'm sure that the Villa man Kems is happy about how his team has been performing. 3 wins, 3 clean sheet. What more could he ask for? And it was 3 goals once again. In their last 2 games, they have gone over 3 goals. So good going by Villa, keep on improving, and I think they're probably aiming for a top 10 finish in the league. And the conversation that Adrian Nicholson normally have about Lampard would finish ahead of Gerrard seem to be right through the window, and it's clear and obvious now that Villa will finish in the top half. But I know that a lot of Jamaican fans are disappointed that Leon Bailey seemingly not getting enough game time, didn't do much, but boy, it's just rough for him. Rough patch because a lot of these players are playing well right now, so it's hard to dislodge anybody out of the team. But I think he's probably biding his time and probably working at his craft to say, hey, coach, you know the money I play good enough. So me I do my thing in training. So Leon Bailey probably just waiting for the opportune time to come into this Villa 11 and cement his place in this team. So um I just think that they have been playing well, and it's just hard for him to break into that team, but I think he's probably still harboring thoughts. And what better way to welcome the villain man that I'm talking about is about his team and their 3-0 victory yesterday. Welcome, bro. Welcome.
What's popping? What's popping? Big up
Yeah,
everybody in
talk
the
about your
chat.
big side yesterday.
Huh?
Yeah, talk about your big side win yesterday.
I mean, last time, the last time we played Leeds, I think we were leading. What? We were leading 3-1.
3-1.
3-1 it was. Yeah, it was 3-1, and then they came back 3-all, and we just couldn't raise the level. We just couldn't find another gear in order to find a victory. Leeds more seemed like they were destined to win that game, and that was at Villa Park, so but listen, Aston Villa has been on a great run. I mean, we were on a little streak where we had 1 win in our last 7. Now we are 3 from 3 with 3 clean sheets. The defense is clicking. I don't want anybody to tell me nothing but Tyron Mings right now, top 6 defender in the Premier League. Can top 6, waiting for that England call up. If Maguire met that England team over Tyron Mings, then there is something that we need to investigate. Southgate, we definitely need to investigate him. But Coutinho, I think Jason told me a stat that since Coutinho has been in the Premier League since his return, no one has had more goal contributions than him in the league.
I
Absolutely
think he has 4
sensational. And
goals and 2 assists.
Yep. And persons telling me, oh, him I go flop, and but when I listen to people who just talk the football, they just talk from an emotional standpoint. But Ollie Watkins has been great. Danny Ings, even though he has not been scoring, he has been great. He has been working, putting that first pressure, going into the spaces, running the channels. Love that. The midfield has been good. You see, one of the favorite Jamaican baller can't even get a space in on the side, and then obviously the defense, Matty Cash. As I remember when Steven Gerrard just got the job in 11, you were the first one who came here and said, hey, Matty Cash, and at that time it was Target.
Target.
You say,
Yeah.
those wingbacks are going to love it, and Matty Cash is reaping those benefits, and so we have a tough. I know we're going to talk about it. We have a tough outing this weekend. They're really going to tell us a lot about the Villa, a lot about what we're about, and our ambitions right now. I told you, Aston Villa is going to come in the top 10. I tell you, we're going to finish ahead of
I was
the,
just
the
talking about it.
yeah, I tell you, we're going to finish ahead of the overrated Graham Potter and Brighton. And listen, Aston Villa haven't finished top 10 in about a decade plus. So
No
right now,
jokes.
Steven Gerrard is doing wonders. And what you think is going to happen when he has that team in the summer, can get in his players, implement his philosophy and his rules. Great things coming at Aston Villa. Mm, yes.
Because, bro, they have come a far way now because I remember Villa days when you have man like Gabby Agbonlahor and all those players. Man,
Oh
those
gosh,
were the
man.
days in a farm. Those
Yep,
were the days,
yep.
man. And
Right now, me
Kish
see.
and shoot, man.
Now, right now, me see what name. A blank now, or whatever my name. I think he's an analyst now. Talking about
Correct.
players who are better than him. But hey, when you have a platform, you can say whatever you want to say. But I remember those days. Those days Villa is just hoping to just get a point here and there just to stay up. Right now, Steven Gerrard is have that man have European aspiration. If Steven Gerrard can get this team in a Europa position, because it's not far fetched. If he can get this team, I know his next couple of fixtures going to be pretty tough because I think he has West Ham and then he has Arsenal somewhere thereabout. So it's going to be some tough fixtures, but I think the team is up for it. When they can't tell me about a new manager bounce now, because that wear off long time, the man can coach. And
I think,
Michelle and
brother, I'm telling you from day one, so them on a big coach.
yep, Adrian
Pepe, you did
Nicholson.
not miss anything. You don't miss anything, man. We're just talking about the games that happened yesterday. So we'll soon get to your favorite part of the show.
Adrian Nicholson and Michelle who love big up Lampard. Lampard need to go back down and humble himself and probably got when Chelsea sort out them issues, got coach under 23 side and following a Gerrard footsteps right now because Gerrard is really impressing me. And trust me, you see when I don't know if you watch the man press conference, Levan, but when you watch the man press conference, the man is as even keel, win, lose, draw, same Steven Gerrard. My mother
Yep.
always tell me this. My mother always tell me, say, Kemar, whether you're rich or you're poor, nobody's supposed to know. Okay, you're supposed to stay even at all times.
Gracious.
And that is what I see with Steven Gerrard. You never know if the man is having a bad day. Never. Because the man just come out, during press conference, answer all the questions, and let you go. Love the man.
All right, and right now, bro, the ladies in the comment section are beating a left, right, and center. Big up on yourself, Lataya. Big up yourself, Michelle. Now, before we get into the game now, Kim, so when you look at your team and you look at Coutinho, now it has been reported that Barca want between 40 million euros to 40 to 45, I think. I think Coutinho is going to take the wage cut now because that is a sticking point with it. But I think because this man loves the Premier League and he loves playing for Gerrard, he's going to take the pay cut. Now you're Aston Villa. You spent what? Call it 30 million on Leon Bailey. Won't you spend a 40 to 45 on Coutinho?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And remember, I told you guys, I remember last week or 2 weeks ago, that they're looking to offset Liam Bailey. So they're looking to probably they can't get the same 25 for him, but if they can get a 20 or 18 or something, that's better than the production that he's giving them. Listen, I told you guys from day one, Coutinho is a baller. Coutinho remind me of the girl, the pretty girl, who you always have to tell say she pretty. Every day you have to tell her say she pretty in order for she go out there and act how she's supposed to. Coutinho, you have to hug him up. You have to tell him you're a good baller, love him up, and then because when he went to Barcelona, he wasn't getting any of that, And you see it dipping in him game because when he went to Barcelona, everybody at Barcelona was quote unquote good. When he went to Bayern Munich, everybody at Bayern was good. So he wasn't getting that special attention. Now he's in Aston Villa, arguably the best player in Aston Villa.
Yeah, man,
Steven Gerrard
he's the
loves him.
man.
Every
He's the
press
man.
conference, Steven Gerrard going on,
Coutinho.
Coutinho must come out of his mouth. Coutinho is training
Facts.
with, oh God, he's such a magician. Always talking about him. So if he's talking about him in the press conference, can you imagine what he's saying in person on the training pitch, seeing what he's doing? Coutinho is quality, man. And, the Premier League was his stomping ground. Sometimes they say the grass is not greener on the other side, but it's green where you water it. So we need to water the grass over the Premier League side and, come back to Aston Villa and, sign a long contract, give us 4 years out of it, see what we can do. Let us make some noise in Europe.
And I wanted to respond to this before we get into the game. So here's Michelle saying that Lukaku and Rashford are that two Kims. I personally don't like players with these type of personalities. So she's saying that those two players are players that loves to be hugged, love to have somebody in their ears all the time. Do you agree with those two?
For Lukaku, yeah, I would say that because when he
Yeah,
was at Inter Milan, Conte would never stop talking about him.
true.
Every single time he's talking about him. How great of a striker Lukaku is. Love Lukaku. Even when he went to Tottenham, him still talk about Lukaku and so. And Rashford, I mean, of course. But listen, Michelle, let me, and I'm sure you guys know this. You see, in life, no two people are the same, right? And that is why I rate Pep so much because you have to understand personalities. So, as a coach, if you say, hey, I have to rub Rashford head to get the best out of Rashford, I have to rub Rashford head. If I say, I have to tell Maguire some bad word for him come play better, I have to tell him some bad word. So again, you have to figure out the personalities and see because I believe that, for example, a player like Danny Ings, when I think Danny Ings need the same attention where like Coutinho need. So it's just understanding the personality of these players and you as the coach knowing what you have to do to get the best out of the players. That is your job. It's a part of your job description. So I can understand when Michelle say, oh, she don't like the personality of these players. Totally understandable. But hey, these are some world-class players or some class players. They are getting paid lots of money. And, these players are really the ones who determine your job. Because if they play bad, you're going through the door. So you have to do
So
what you have to
basically,
do.
these players are just like Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons is that type of person that wants to be hugged and tell that, hey, you're handsome fella.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Ben Simmons is Australian. So, they spoke about him, over film countryman, them treat him like a prince, can't do nothing wrong. His family treat him like a prince. When he was at LSU, they said Ben Simmons don't even like practice hard. And they just make
It
him
can,
do
it
what he
can, it
want
can,
to do.
it can, it can be a bad thing doing that, Kims, because
It
guess what?
can. Uh-huh.
Just like I mentioned with Russell Westbrook the other day, when
Mm-hmm.
all is going well for him, the man
Mm-hmm.
want to be called Brody and all these things. But
Mm-hmm.
guess what? It's when reality hit, they don't know how
Mm-hmm.
to handle reality. And it's the same thing that Ben Simmons has gone through. Reality
All
struck,
right. Mm-hmm. All right. So
and
I'll
when
say
reality
this.
struck, he went into a shell.
All right. I'll say this. If Coutinho has a bad game, I'm not expecting Steven Gerrard to come out and bash him publicly. I'm
Correct.
expecting Steven Gerrard talk to him, hey, this game didn't go so well. What do you think we can do better? I think the way how Philadelphia went about the Ben Simmons thing, obviously they were asked a question just after them get knocked out, emotions run high. You just say anything will come in your mouth the first thing, right? But I think again, this is a part of your job description as a coach, as a manager, as a captain. You find out okay, if I go out there and say, I know that Coutinho is a bit sensitive. If I go out there and I say something about Coutinho, this can probably derail his whole season. Am I willing to risk that? Then if he's having a bad game, I just go, I whisper to him, da 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 da. And I think, when I think there was a case where them say Alex Ferguson throw boots at David Beckham in him head and so probably if him did lick a man like Marcus Rashford with it, you'd have never see Marcus Rashford get back to being a Marcus Rashford type player. So I just think with the different personalities, with me, there are certain things that people can say to me that would have probably make me feel away, but them say it to you and you laugh it off. I'm just like, oh, so you have
So
to understand the personalities of individuals and deal with it accordingly. We cannot deal with people how we feel to deal with them. Not no go so. You have to understand
true.
how the person is, who the person is, with them accordingly.
As I said a while ago, no two person are the same. No two people handle the situation the same way. So that is facts. Now we get into the meat of the matter. First game tomorrow at 7:30. It's Brighton against Pool. Brighton have been on a mean run, but guess what? Liverpool has other aspirations. Liverpool is in a title race, and Liverpool needs to get the W to close in back within 3 points of Man City. So, what are you going for in this one?
Ah, I watch an overrated coach interview, and he say, not much times in the Premier League you get to go against the best. So when you go against the best, you get to relish your opportunity. But hey, you know, in their last 8 Premier League games, Brighton only have one win. They only have one win. So I don't think Liverpool is the best team to play right now. One win from your last 8. But didn't Brighton beat Liverpool in their first meeting? Was that so? I did draw. It was a
I think
draw,
it's
right? Yeah,
yeah.
I think it was a draw, almost a 3-3 or something like that. I think Liverpool was leading and Brighton fight back and come back and draw the game. But I can't see Brighton getting anything from this game. Not this one. As you said, Liverpool know that. Right now they're 6 points behind, and obviously them have Kems, are you a HR? No, Michelle. I'm not an HR executive. Soon though. But anyway, yeah. So listen, when you take a look at it, Liverpool 6 points behind now, have a game in hand. Them know say them can't even make the breeze blow too much and lose this game. So or draw this game. They need a W. So I think they're going to win this game. I'm going with um I'm going with a Liverpool 2-1 victory.
I'm going to. I'll be inclined to go with that one as well. So I'm going 2-1 Liverpool for this one as well. Next is what we can see. Well, yeah, it probably is still a 6 pointer because Brentford still not out of the woods as yet. Burnley still trying to escape the drop. Oh, you look at this one. I see this one going. Brentford good victory last time. When Burnley are in a mean rut right now. They scored all the goals and they can't seem to score again. And just like last time with Chelsea, they got the opportunities, but they just can't score. So I think
So if Pepper Paul is here, this is the first bet, Pepper Paul. And the first bet
easier,
should
man.
be Burnley to win this game. Brentford no good, brother. Brentford no good, and I
Wow.
think Burnley is more hungry. I think they look at the Chelsea game and they're saying, man, if we had just taken our chances, we would have been in such a great position. So I'm looking at it and I'm going Burnley to win this game, and I'm going 2-0. No more free penalties for Ivan Tony and those guys. 2-0 Burnley. So Pepe Paul, Burnley to win.
All right, Pepe, I'm not going with this one. I'm going either Brentford to win or draw. So I'm seeing a 1-1 result in this one. I'm going for the draw. Next one on Saturday, the late game on Saturday, is Man United against Tottenham Hotspurs. I see this one going this time. Two Yoyo teams.
Wow. 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 So Tottenham has been on a little crazy run. Win, lose, win, lose, win, lose. Play good, play bad, play good, play bad. But going up against Manchester United, I'm looking solely at the defense of Manchester United. How is Varane? Will Varane be back?
Yeah.
Because Hurricane and Son and the other guy named Kovaceski or whatever everyone
Kulusevski.
name. Yep. Those guys. I mean, it will be at Old Trafford, but no one is afraid of Old Trafford again like one time. Old
Facts.
Trafford is like Old Trafford is like the away team homegrown right now. They're coming to run havoc in there. Um, Cristiano Ronaldo, the boy, the team does not playing well right now, and then they have an important Champions League tie coming up midweek right there again. Ah, boy, this is tough. Uh, all right, listen, Pepper Paul for this game, get both teams to score.
I was just
That's a
about to say
bet.
right now,
Both
BTPS
teams to
straight through.
score. Both teams to score for this one, but I'm going with a draw for this one. I'm going with a 2-all draw. 2-all draw for this game. These two teams are, you know, I would love to go for a Manchester United win because I hate Tottenham more than how I dislike United. And, I think Conte is definitely overrated. But, now he comes back. Now he comes back and he says, oh, if I get Tottenham to top four, that is like winning the Premier League. Now he's just trying to boost up his little fragile ego because he has not done a good enough job. He had many games in hand to bring him up to third place, and he just fumbled the bag. So I'm going with a
Yes,
draw for this one.
the latest report is saying that he hopes that from now until the end of the season, it will prove that whether him and Tottenham are a good match, so they can assess where they go from there in the summer. I saw it like probably around 10 minutes before I started the show.
Jokes, jokes,
But
jokes. I'm going with a 2-all draw for this one. Goals galore. Both teams
I
to score, Pepe, or if you want some more money, over 2.5. That will happen too. This will be goals, goals, goals. I wouldn't be surprised if I have 4-4. Because them two teams can't defend. All right.
all right. I'm thinking it might be a draw, but you know that as a United man, I would love to get the win. To be honest, I need this win, but I can't seemingly to put trust in this team. This team, boy, I don't know. I don't know. And here's Pepe agreeing with us that never ever lose off Man U GG. I tell you, bro, so this look GG from a far way out. His friend is saying that Man U versus Tottenham is a game with two counter-attacking teams. And I believe it will come down to who takes their chance. So Pepe, I know that Conte will concede possession in this game. He'll give up the possession to United. So United will have more possession and they'll hit on the counter. As I mentioned, it all comes down to who will take their chances. I know Sancho will play good once again, but it's a big if there's a players will turn up because you have a fridge on the field and then you have a lot of stooges around there. And as I call him the other day, I call him invisible water because they're not water. If it was water, players could slide through, but they're not there. So people just walk past them. So I hope that tomorrow probably something will give off. And I know that Tillers will start once again because Shai's still out with COVID. McTominay won't start tomorrow because the man said that he's not risking him. He kind of picked up a knock, so he wants him to be fit for that Atletico clash. So I know that more than likely to be a Fred and Pogba as a double pivot tomorrow. So uh yeah, I'm going to put my neck out and a limb and I'm going with a Man United 2-1 victory. But for the safe bet, GG. I just want the win because I'm a United man and United desperate to need the win. So I'm just going to go with that. Um, Next
So I
game,
just I just want to know, hold on, before you go to the next game, boss, I just want to know, should Ralph fail to finish top four, can we say that one, the Ole firing was premature ejaculation? Two, can we say that Ralph has failed as the manager of United? Whether 6 months, 5 months, 4 months, 1 month. Can we now assess that should Ralph fail to finish top four? Because Ole, when given a full season, has never missed top four as a Manchester United manager.
I think I'll leave it up to you to make that choice at the end of the season to say whether it was a failure or not, because there's a lot of things I would factor into decide on that. Because one, I have to agree that he could have done better in a lot of instances, yeah. I think he was stubborn at the beginning in terms of he came in with a particular style of play and eventually realized that the players that was there can't fit into the system that he was playing. So he changed and decided that he was going to play them. Bad thing happened with Mason Greenwood because Mason Greenwood is the one that tend to score goals for Man United when they need it. So Mason Greenwood went down. And then you have the whiners. Bruno is a whiner. Cristiano is a whiner. So all they do is whine and they have been both off from. And if memory serves me correct, I think Christie has only scored what? Twice? Is either twice or three times since Ralph has been at the tenure. So if you want to blame him, no problem. Personally, for me, as I said before, I was kind of critical of Ole in a sense, but if we are being fair, these players are just not good enough. A lot of them are overrated, and a lot of them are just garbage, literal. And as I said, there's no way me cannot play a big Manchester derby, no possible way. And then you reach a point where me just have a drop made in the game just because my team concede. What example am I setting? Look at the fans out there. What am I giving up to the fans? Am I telling the fans that yes, we care? No, you don't care. So I think you can look at it from both perspectives that he hasn't really lived up to expectations because again, Cristiano hasn't been scoring. Drop him, simple. Any players that has been underperforming, drop them, call up the youths. Give chances to players that are hungry. So yeah, fair assessment if I ask me.
Hold
And
on.
here's
Oh, go ahead.
yes, yes, for saying that Man U is no Chelsea. They should have gotten a permanent manager. They do better with stability in their club. At that point, they couldn't really sign a permanent manager. Who were they going to go for? Conte? Oh, I don't want Conte over here. I don't.
I keep on telling these individuals who keep on talking. Manchester United is no Chelsea. That is one because one Manchester United obviously is a more successful club than Chelsea, no doubts about it. However, Manchester United also, doesn't have corruption as the owner too, but also Manchester United really wants long term. They want longevity. I keep on telling them from day one. Manchester is not looking no 1 year success, no 2 year success. They want a manager that they can say, okay, this manager will be here 8 years, 10 years, 15 years. Those are the things Manchester United. Chelsea and them ex owner, current, whatever you want to call him. As soon as the manager now perform out the door, new manager coming. That is Chelsea DNA, that is Chelsea's philosophy. That
Well,
is not
Fran
Manchester
is
United
actually making the
philosophies.
point now. That's what Fran is saying. Big up yourself, Fresh God. I see you, man. Big up yourself. Iran Kana, big up yourself too. He's
No, but
making
he
the
said
same point that you're making, you know.
no, but he's saying that United don't do well with interims. How many interim
Mm.
managers have United have?
Two.
Is that enough sample
But
size to say they
if, I-
don't
if
do well
I'm
with
thinking,
interim?
yeah, I think it's only two.
Is that enough sample size to say, well, hey, they don't do good with interims? I don't think it is.
Because remember that when Ole came in, Ole was an interim at the beginning and then
And
eventually
but
he
he
won
did
the job.
well. But he did well
Yeah,
as an interim.
yeah. And then they're exploiting or exploring with Rob. So let us see. I mean, as I said, personally for me, I never wanted him to hire a permanent manager right there because I don't like contest style of football. Even though he's a winner, just like I mentioned with Mourinho, Mourinho is a winner, but I just don't like their style of football.
Agreed.
So he actually agreed. Basically, the same. That is what he was saying, like him. The same thing that you're mentioning that United depend on stability. So United is that sort of club. So I think this summer that is what they're trying to
Mm.
chase. They're trying to chase a manager that will be there, for, as you mentioned, for 8, 10, 15 years. So I
But
think
then
they're probably
if
slow.
they're chasing that, I don't Pochettino cannot be in the argument because not to say Pochettino won't stay for that long, but his results won't allow him to stay for that long. He's not good enough.
True.
He's not
Truth.
good enough. Get the Ajax manager. Get Ten Hag. Let him come and implement what he's implementing and give him time. Give him the same amount of money you gave Ole. Give him the flexibility to go out there and choose his players to pick his style and get rid of some of the dead weight. Like man, like Phil Jones and them man. If nobody don't want them, just release. I don't know. Just release them. Let them go. Pay them what they need to pay. Get them out of the club. Get out the toxicity out of the club, man. Get some new energy in the club. I'm gonna see Phil Jones a run out there on the bench, there on the sheet. Man, I say, oh, Phil Jones a do there. Lindelof, one Bissaka. All of them people, they get them out of the club, man. Them man never stay at
Frano, listen
Southampton.
to me, Frano. Frano, we respect Tuchel and we like the job that he has done at Chelsea, but we don't want Tuchel over here either. Don't want him over here. There's only one coach at Man United, and there's one coach that they should chase. And as Fresh God said, get Ten Hag. Ten Hag
Yeah.
just fit perfectly with what they want. The structure and everything,
And then,
Ten Hag would be the
yeah,
ideal person.
and exactly. And even Ajax said if he should get the manager, they won't get in his way. They'll let him go, let him do his thing. Pochettino, him have for a manager who is so worthless, for a manager who don't win anything. For a manager who has no credentials, oh, if for me to take the job at Manchester United, I have to ensure I am the number one choice. If I'm number 2 or 3, I won't be leaving PSG. I'll stay there. If I can't,
But
mhm.
I see a comment from Pepe saying that honestly, I wouldn't give youths chance now because there's still a chance after 4. Pepe, what we're saying is that if you have players in the first team that are underperforming, these senior professionals, wouldn't it make a lot of sense to just give a chance to some of the youths? For example, you look in the academy, you have a guy named Charlie McNeil. This guy is a legit goal scorer. This man scored goal for fun. Academy level, before I think it was probably 2 seasons ago, this man scored over 600 goals in academy. Last season, he scored over 20 goals for United under 18s and under 23. And right now, he has been brilliant. So since as you're struggling for goals and you have so much players missing in front of goal, why not give McNeil a chance? Simple as that. Elanga has come in, and as I said before to a few fans, Elanga is not the most talented. However, he's a hard worker. He's someone that takes instruction and will go out there and do what he's told to do. But he's not the most talented. You have an ex guy in the academy, Alejandro Garnacho. A lot of noise is being made about him. See, even Argentina went as far as call him up for their senior side in the preliminary team. So if they can call him up to that extent and United hasn't given him a chance as it, come on. That's what we're implying. I'm not saying you should give everybody a chance in a Pepe. So raise the level, Pepe. Come on. And here's Fresh God saying that let's get Rudiger and Reece James now for Chelsea. What will you say to that, kid?
What did he say?
That United should try to get Rudiger and Reece James.
Rudiger, I would take Rudiger. I take Rudiger. I like defenders who are rough and also durable. I think he has played for majority of the season. He has been, fit. Reece James too injury prone right now. Can't have Shaw injury prone and then Reece James over the next side injury prone as well. No, sir. I'll pass on Reece James, but Rudiger is definitely somebody that
And
I
basically,
know
he's a
that I
free
think,
man. He's walking away summer.
yeah, especially with all the turmoil going on right now, in the club. He's walking away. He hasn't ruled out staying in the Premier League. Obviously, the big giants, the PSGs and the Real Madrids want him, and they can pay, for them bank book now have no limit. They can pay whatever they want to pay. But if you want to stay in the Premier League, I think United would be, a good choice. Just need to get another player in for him because what you guys have there now is not good enough.
But yeah, what though? I'm trying to raise a valid point. He's saying that if Man U get those guys, they're better prepared to play with a back three. And trust me, I don't know, but I just dislike three at the back.
You
I
see,
just think
so
it's too much defenders. I just dislike it.
this is it on a level, and I believe if if Ten Hag come in, because I want Ten Hag to come in early, so him have the whole transfer window. Hopefully he's
But
watching some Manchester United games now, so him knows all right. That guy got to go. That guy got to go. That guy, and then probably
I
Van
heard
der
that
Beek could
I heard that
probably.
he's studying the players through intermediaries,
Oh, okay.
through
So
some third party.
yep. And then Van der Beek coming back, so probably him can get the best out of Van der Beek when him come back, and so who knows? But I think right now the standard of Manchester United has dropped drastically. If we're fighting and begging to come into top four, come on, man, top four should be automatic. This is not Arsenal. It's not Tottenham. This is freaking Manchester United.
Here's Fabi Fernand saying that Ten Hag has been in contact with some of the players. Yeah, that is true.
I,
And yeah,
I,
man, Fresh got long time the man jump ship, man.
so I think I hope he's only in contact with the players who he wants to stay. Those Jesse Lingards of the world, absolutely not. When I look at Manchester United substitutes and them starting lineup, you look on it and you say, this Manchester United come to? Right now, Manchester United feel like Manchester City of those days when Manchester United was dominating. And City
Bro,
have Garrett Barry and all of them man there.
I said it the other day that from the longest while is the first I actually realized and totally understand what Liverpool fans were going through when United was winning because trust me, fam, it hurt me to see Liverpool winning right now, and especially City as well. Liverpool and City right now winning hurt me to the core, man. And that's why they need to get their act together and get back the club on its foot so they can win some title again. And yeah, man, Pepe, you know what's gone on my ball a long time, man. He's one that I think can replace Holman Matic in that midfield. So yeah, I agree with that. Now, next game, Chelsea against Newcastle. A lot of nice run in Chelsea. Newcastle on a nice run, but at some point we know that the run is going to come to an end, you know. So, Kim, do you think Sunday will be the day that the run will come to an end? Or you think that Newcastle will continue in their way and probably get a draw or a win right here?
All right, so definitely, Chelsea got some good news. Got some good news today. I think they'll be happy about that news that the UK has allowed them to continue with the sale of the club. So I think there's a lot of uncertainty before, but I think they got some good news. So I think they're in good spirits. But listen, what I will say and what I'll give Tuchel props for is that this all the noise and the situation that's happening around Chelsea doesn't seem to be affecting the players. The players are playing with their heads up. The players are coming
True.
out. The players have passion. They're playing some decent football. And I think they're probably using this adversity so they can come together. Because with adversity, it can either break you apart or bring it together. And I think it's bringing Chelsea together. And the fact that they're keeping the $100 million defender forward, depending on which game, they're keeping him out of the team. Giving him like a 5 minutes run against Norwich and so, and having Kai Havertz up there, and so I think that make a world of difference for Chelsea. And I think for Newcastle, Newcastle have been doing well, but I think, hey, all good things must come to an end, right? And I think this is where Newcastle will get their first L. But what I will say though is that I think it will be a competitive game, hard fought game. I'm thinking Chelsea is going to win 1-0. Um, you have to understand that Newcastle they have an identity now, right? And the players play hard, they play for each other, and they don't care who score. No one person want the glory, Even when Eddie Howe win manager of the month, you see all his backroom staff with him in there. Love that. And every time his press conference after game, post game conference, always bigging up the players, the character of the players, the fight of the players. So love it. But you can't win every game. No team win every game. So I think Newcastle is safe right now, I would say, but they're going to lose this one against Chelsea. I'm going with a 1-0. 1-0.
I spoke about it a bit before you came and I said that if I realize with them, they have been playing together as a team because Trippier has been out, Joe Linton was out of the last game against Southampton, Saint has been out, and there was one more player. I'm currently forgetting, but there's one more player out. I believe it was four of them that was out, and yet still they were able to get a win. So as I mentioned, they are playing together as a team. They're not depending on a one man. As I said, when Steve Bruce was there, every week delusional demon normal come here. Yeah, man, that name was stuck on here. Come here and tell us that Saint Max, Saint Max, Saint Max, Saint Max. All we used to hear about is Saint Max. Now that has died down since Eddie was coming. You don't hear anybody talking about him much. You hear them talking about a team effort. This week you have Ryan Fraser playing good. Next week you hear say Jacob Murphy. And next week you hear say John Joe Shelby. And next week
Absolutely.
you hear say Joe Linton. And then the new guy, Bruno Guimaraes, came on in that game and he did play well. Scored a very good back heel, as I mentioned in the precursor. And they have been playing together as a team, so that's good for them. And trust me, I hope that Newcastle can prove to be the bogey side that they were for Chelsea some time back. But
Mm.
I'm going to be realistic, and I'm going to go with that 1-1 draw.
1-0 draw. That's your realistic. All right. Nothing wrong.
Yeah,
I wouldn't
Chelsea
mind if
can.
Chelsea drop points, I wouldn't mind if Chelsea are lose. Wouldn't wouldn't
I
wouldn't
agree.
shake me one bit.
I
Wouldn't
agree.
shake me one bit.
All right, so the next match we're going to look at is Leeds against Norwich. Leeds desperate for a win. Norwich they also need the win. How do you see this one going?
I'm going for a draw in this one. I'm going for a 2-all draw. Pepe Paul, this is a over 2.5 game for you, boss. Both teams to score are over 2.5, but I love the over 2.5 more. Listen, on the time about new manager, Marsh, and whatever I'm on name, and I said, listen, Leeds problem bigger than any manager. Not even Pep Guardiola could get this team to win. Because why? They're down bodies. They don't have enough bodies to go out there and to play midweek and then come now and play
They're
weekend
coming
again.
back now.
They're coming back little by little, little by little. But Norwich is hungry. These are the games where Norwich can probably quote unquote get up for. I think they still think they have a glimmer of hope to save themselves. They're delusional just like Demo. They have that in common. So I'm going for a 2-all draw in this one. I don't see Leeds winning this game. Um, because I think Leeds should go down. Leeds and Everton I want to go down. So um and Burnley and probably Watford, come out of the rat. I want Dennis to stay in the Premier League. But yeah, I'm going for a 2-all draw for this one.
I'm on the other side, and I'm going with a Leeds victory. Bamford is back. He came on the previous game that they lost to Villa. And yeah, he had that one and few minutes that he was trying to get some touches in, got a one shot, and he shoot for the stars because that wasn't at the goal. So I probably think that he might get more game time come Sunday. So I'm going with Leeds to pick up a 2-1 victory over Norwich. Next one on Sunday, we'll see Everton taking on Wolves. How do you call this one?
Boy, Everton in some real trouble, and you know, sometimes it always said that you run from one problem and you run going on many others. And Lampard try run away from Norwich. Oh, I don't want to go with him. Run into Everton and guess what happened? Now Everton are possibly actually going to face points deduction for some financial things that they have going on. If they face that point deduction, they can just call it relegation from now. Everton has had a lot of close calls with those relegation battles. I remember, Ryan showed me one season where they were actually tied, but they based off goal difference, they end up staying up in the league. But I think this is it. They're going down, down, down. That was an embarrassing performance against Tottenham. Showed no fight, and I've said it. I've said this way too many times about Everton. They are not ready to play. How can a Frank Lampard team that is fighting relegation not ready to play? Impossible. That means the manager is not doing his job and him just taking money under false pretenses. He should probably be investigated as Rafa Benitez. But they're going up against Wolves, who got a nice spanking victory after some back-to-back losses. They won against Watford. Everton is at home. I don't know if the fans will be happy. Obviously, we know Wolves already very, very, very stingy team. Calvert Lewin, I don't know when last in play. Richarlison, I don't know when last in play. Team
On
Viewer
the
Van de Beek,
bench.
I don't know when last in play. So, and when I say that, obviously for the viewers, I'm being very sarcastic. So, I'm have to go with a Wolves win for this one. You know, I'm going with a Wolves one. I'm going with a 2-0 victory for Wolves. 2-0 victory for Wolves. Lampard,
Okay.
they're going to be singing, "We should sack Lampard at the end of 90 minutes."
All right, Pepe, for the Chelsea game, man. At 1.5, we should go for that one, man. Don't go under because this is a game that, as the promise that it
No,
can be goals
leave, leave Chelsea
or
game
leave it
first.
alone. Now, I was
Leave
asking in the
Chelsea
comment
game.
section that if he should
Come
go
on.
under 3.5 for it. But Everton Wolves, I'm going to be generous. I'm giving Everton a point against Wolves because Wolves has been playing well, yeah. There was an error, as I mentioned, got a good 4-0 win over Watford, but I think they're little acres around that back line that Everton can exploit. Demary Gray is back for Everton, and I think he can do something for them. Ben Godfrey is also back, so backline will be a little bit more steady. And I still think that Max Kilman hasn't regained his confidence as yet, so I'm going with a 1-all draw for this one. I see Owen saying that 4-1 win for Wolves. Michelle saying Everton for the win as we expect. And Adrian saying 2-1 to Everton as we also expect.
When I
And
just
yeah,
want to know, Michelle, when can you ever have some objectivity? Just please, one day, just give us some objectivity about people we like. What I mean, of course, I'm going to go for Wolves win. Wolves is the better team. Easily. Wolves are the better team, so I'm never go with the better team. Lampard is struggling. Then they have this financial thing looming over them for points deduction. Remember, if Everton supposed to lose 9, 12 points, Just call it, Just call it. Just call it, because that is it. Especially within the schedule, just call it. So I don't know what those owners going to do, who they're going to try and pay off, but they better do something, because right now the points deduction team. If you watch any the commentary over England, Sky Sports and them, they talk about that every single day about Everton. And when it's in the media like that, ringing like that, it's not good news. You, Mr. Nicholson, you're running. You tell me about Lampard is a better manager than Gerrard, and he might come finish above Gerrard. You think Gerrard take over Aston Villa in, I think I must say, in a 15th place. Right now he's in 9th place and going up, not down where Lampard is going, up.
And here's Bishop say that Wolves is mid to lower table of team Kems, and you know it.
And Everton is lower to relegation team, Michelle, and you know it. What are you
All right.
talking about?
The next game that we're going to discuss will be your team being away to West Ham. Oh, you see this one going this time.
Ah, boy, I'm not even going to lie. This is going to be a tough game. I'm right. I'm looking here if Rice is playing, because if
It
Rice
is.
is playing, I am happy. I am happy when he's playing. But the man who I'm glad not playing is Jared Bowen. He has an Achilles injury, so
Yeah, man,
you
he's
know
out.
he would cause havoc for our backline. And we're on. I said it earlier, but for the persons who are just joining, or for the haters, repeat it one more time for you guys. We're on a 3-game winning streak, and we have 3 straight clean sheets, and I think we have scored 4, 7, I think probably 9, 10 goals in those 3 games. I don't remember. We scored so much goals.
Yeah.
I'm confused, right? But hey, Wolves. I mean, West Ham is playing against Sevilla in that Europa League vibes that they got going on. So again, when you play midweek and you come and you play Aston Villa, we saw what happened to Southampton. They play midweek in that FA Cup, come against Aston Villa, bam, 4-0 under you. Antonio
Remember
is my
that you
guy.
played midweek, you know, boss.
Huh?
It was the
Well,
last time out to Southampton. You know. Remember that you guys played midweek this time around.
come on, Levan, get it straight. We train midweek. That's what we did. We train midweek. We never played midweek. We train. West Ham played midweek. We train midweek. All right. So
No.
listen. No, listen. This is going to be a tough game for Aston Villa. Tough game. And I was contemplating. I was saying, boy, this looks like a draw game. But when I look, and I'm looking at quality, and I'm looking at Mr. Coutinho, who is finding his feet back in the Premier League, who is when he decides to take on defenders, those West Ham defenders back there. Hmm. I have to go. I have to go with my team. I have to go with my team. I have to sync with the ship. So I'm going with an Aston Villa 2-0 victory. My top 6 centre back round there, Tyron Mings, don't care. You match him up with Cancer, get the job done. You match him up with Chambers, get the job done. You match him up with me, get the job done. Another clean sheet, 4 straight clean sheets, and I'm going Aston Villa 2-0 victory. And David Moyes, we'll start by looking at him and wondering, is he really the manager, or is he another choker like Rodgers? So I'm going 2-0 Aston Villa.
All right. It seems like you and I are on a lot of disagreement here because I'm going for the draw in this game. I'm going for a 1-all draw. I think this is a draw game. Draw is written all over it. And you said that first you had that in mind, but then you just look back under the microscope and give your team a 2-0 victory. But I'm going for a 1-all draw. And here's Fabi Fernandez saying that scary thing is Villa getting goals from the guys at the back. Anytime that is happening, you know that your team is scary.
Yep.
No jokes. So yeah,
Hey,
that is fun.
put up um put up Michelle comment for me, please, boss. Kems, is that an objective analysis? Well, let me tell you, Michelle. I believe it is, because if you look at form, I think Aston Villa is on the better form. If you look at managers, I'll take Steven Gerrard over David Moyes any day of the week. If you look at influential players, game changers, Antonio hasn't been that sharp. He has been running around, holding up the ball and so, but as a goal scorer, hasn't been that sharp. I'll go with Aston Villa for this one. Again, as I said
Gerard
before,
Bowen.
and no Gerald, oh God. And remember, I'd say that I believe he's the most important player for West Ham. And listen, Gerrard now, obviously there's always room for improvement no matter what. But I believe that the way how Steven Gerrard has the team playing right now, and I believe confidence in sports, you guys know, Fabi Frana can tell you, confidence in sports is one of the most underrated things. And I don't think West Ham have a lot of confidence. They're taking his back-to-back L's now. The last in the Premier League, and then now the last in the Europa League, and now they're going to come against Aston Villa. Now that's another L for them. Aston Villa up the table, up and going, ninth place, looking to go eighth, getting into that into those Europe positions. We're climbing to go for West Ham, who is in sixth place.
All right. Next one will be Southampton against Watford. Watford, as I said, Watford are whipping boys. Southampton, they got whipped by Villa. They came back. They did play good against Newcastle. They were just unlucky once again, as I mentioned. They took the lead, but based on the form that Newcastle is in, they just overturn it. But playing against a Watford team, I expect them to basically run that midfield. I expect to see Romeo and Ward-Prowse just beat ball right through that midfield tomorrow. Not tomorrow, I mean Sunday. So personally for me, I'm going for at least a 2-0 victory for Southampton. What say you, Kems?
Yeah, so I'm going with a Southampton victory. But for the bettors, Pepe Paul, this one, I'm going both teams to score for this one. I think Watford will score, and I think Southampton will score. So I'm going both teams to score. Over 2.5 is a harder option. But I think both teams to score is an option that you should go for. Watford is extremely desperate right now. Um, I think Dennis will find a way to get a goal. But I think this is all Southampton. I think Southampton two straight defeats. Not really looking good for them right now. Not looking good. 4-0 and then 2-1. So they concede 6 goals and they score 1 goal in their last two outings. And anytime a team is on a bad run, and Watford is the team you want to see, or Norwich, or Everton, those teams are who you want to see. So I'm going with a Southampton win. I'm going 3-1 Southampton.
All right, so Pepe, that's 4 games for you so far. Kems has given the Burnley to win, in which I disagree with that. He said that GG for United. I agree with that one. And he mentioned what Leeds Norwich. You said GG for that, right?
No, I said over 2.5 for that.
Yeah, man. If
Or
I got
GG, yeah.
2.5, basically GG.
Mm.
And Southampton to win. So ensure that you jot down those Pepe. Just that are not working with that Burnley one. Might happen, but not working with it right now. Yeah, man, Aaron, you can go ahead and ask the question, man. If we can address it, we will. The next one on the agenda will be Arsenal, who are currently in fourth position and trying to cement their place in the top four. Put a firm grip on it, taking on Leicester, was won what? 3 games on the trot, and I believe they have also had some clean sheets in there as well. So after really struggling to buy a win, struggling to keep a clean sheet, they have done so in around 3 consecutive
No,
matches.
two
So
a 2 game, man. 2 game. Yeah, 2 game back to back. There was
what
a
win?
two win with two clean
No man, I'm
sheets
also
back
talking
to back.
about Europe, man. They beat Renard 2-0.
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. Okay.
So when I factor in that, I see this one going because this one is said to be a good goal, you know. I see this one going. Seem like a freeze. All right, start out the connection and return, Kims. But personally for me, Arsenal has been on a good run. They have been doing well. Um, Leicester, as I mentioned, they have been doing quite well too. But will this game be in their favor, especially with it being played at Arsenal home? Hmm. Hard one to think about. And the thing for Arsenal is that a lot of their key players are playing well right now. You know that Saka is playing well. You also know that Smith is playing well. Lacazette, we call Crapazette, is playing well right now as well. So Arsenal forward line is clicking right now. But Leicester, as I said, they seem to be finding a little bit of form as well. So Kems, I checked out before you were about to say. So
Yeah,
what do you think about it?
yeah. I was saying that Pepe Paul, this is probably going to make you a rich man, but as a matter of, I'm not going to go. I am going to bet Leicester to win, right? But for you, Pepe Paul, the Leicester double chance. I don't think Arsenal can beat Leicester in this game. So the Leicester double chance. Arsenal, has been going smoothly, but there's always some bumps in the road for them. Leicester has been on, as Lemon said, even in Europe, their last 3 games as wins, clean sheet. So 3 wins, 3 clean sheet. Coming like I'm just singing that all day because I said it about Aston Villa. Here we go about Leicester as well. And Schmeichel has been, I think there's 2 good goalkeepers as well. Schmeichel has been keeping. When I'm saying, I think the game that they won 1-0, against Leeds, they could have easily lost that game, hasn't it been for Schmeichel. So, I'm looking at this and I'm saying I am going with a Leicester. I don't think they'll keep a clean sheet in this one. So I'm going with a Leicester 2-1 victory. Both teams to score is an option as well. I think
1.5.
less over 1.5, over 2.5. Pick your poison.
So
Preposit.
hold on, second, James. Pepe, are those games that you won off this week? You got them off the show? Make sure that you tell us in advance so people can see we talk sense and not just nonsense. So let us know if it's off the show you win those games. So
Yeah,
finish up,
man.
Kim.
Yeah, but I think I have Leicester to win this game 2-1.
Okay. Here's Michelle saying that Arsenal should win this one, but as we know, Leicester can turn it up at times, depends on which Leicester turns up. I see
True.
Owen saying that 2-1 to Arsenal. Adam saying the same thing as well, 2-1 to Arsenal. Um, here's Jana is saying that he expect that Spurs to beat Man United with the gun pass that game long time, but he said that he expects Spurs to win. It's
It's
Spurs
true.
saying that for Leicester to win this game, they have to defend well. Plus, their attacking midfielders have to connect well with the forward line. And the bad thing for them is that Jamie Vardy is out that he's saying he picked up an injury after just coming back. Owen saying that Arsenal next bump will be the game after this when they play Liverpool.
Now
Adrian saying that
they'll have 2 bumps. This one and the one against Liverpool, giving Manchester United a chance to creep into that top 4.
so here's the saying that maybe Barry GG for Leeds and Villa with them bad. Okay. Next one. Well, I didn't give a prediction. I just think that Arsenal is in too bad of a form. I really want them to lose, but they have been playing well. Leicester is basically dependent on Harvey Barnes right now. Harvey Barnes is the man that has been carrying the mantle for them, so I don't know how you'll turn up against Arsenal, but this game is either going to end in a draw and Arsenal win, especially at home. And the final game of the match weekend, I think it's a rescheduled game. I think this match should have been played in match week 16. It's Crystal Palace against City on Monday. I see that one going.
Didn't Crystal Palace beat City this season? I
Correct?
think they beat. I think they beat them, and I think they got like a clean sheet as well or something like that.
Yep.
Yeah. So obviously, trust me. If me remember it, Pep must remember it too. You know. And again, just like Liverpool, Pep can't drop the catch. And you know, trust me. You see, when you're going up against the top teams, you're going to give your best. So I know Crystal Palace is going to go there, give their best shot. But I think City will win. Obviously they had a little training session against United the other day. I don't know why when they play United they look so amazing, but then they play like little Southampton and a draw with Southampton. But I don't know. But I'm going with a City victory for this one. I'm going with a 2-0 victory, Man City. 2-0.
Brother saying 4-0 to City. Owen saying that Crystal Palace with the upset. As expected, you're a Liverpool man, but I don't think this will be one of those times. Um, come on, Owen. Oh, the upset is that you're going for a draw, saying that it's going to end 12. Michelle saying that I want Crystal Palace pull off another win against City. And here's a question by Aranda. Aranda is a big CR7 fan. He tries not to come off as it, but I know that he is. He's asking us, Kenza, do you agree with people saying CR7 is overrated and he's not a GOAT, saying he only deserved the Ballon d'Or, which is only 2008, while he was at United?
But put about the question. Very loaded question. We'll
All
push that
right,
back.
so he's saying that we
All
agree with
right.
people saying CSM is overrated and
All
he
right.
is
So
not
let
a
me
GOAT.
answer that one. So if I agree with people saying CR7 is overrated, no. All right. Listen. So the way I look at things, so you have CR7 fanboys who will put him over the moon, and then you have CR7 haters that will put him all the way to the ground. So I look at it, the middle between that. Come on, the man is a fantastic player. You know what he has done for the game of football has been only you only can have a handful of guys who you say has had that impact on the football. You know, so however you feel about him, like him, hate him, miss him, love him, whatever it is, that man is one of the greatest, one of the five greatest players to ever play football, to ever kick a football, to ever touch a football. And you know what he has done for the game, absolutely phenomenal. Can't take anything away from him. So I can never say an all-time great is overrated. I can never say that. So no,
And
I don't think he's
to
overrated.
the second part, you're saying, well, you already answered that part where you said if he's a GOAT. Yes, of course he's up there in one of the GOAT section, but
Yeah, I
you're
think
saying that he only
I think
deserved one Ballon d'Or and it was 2008. What do you say about that one?
all right. So where the goat conversation is concerned, again, these goat conversations are subjective, right?
Correct.
You know, it depends. There is no set criteria as to who is the goat and why they are the goat. So you want to say, oh, Christie is the goat because him go from Real Madrid to United, Real Madrid, blah 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 blah. But then there's holes in that argument because Juventus went to a Champions League final. Then when Ronaldo got there, they couldn't make back the final. So that's an argument against Ronaldo. You know, we can make a ton of argument. You know, I don't get involved in that. If you want to say Cristiano Ronaldo is the goat, fine. Messi is the GOAT to me for separate reasons. If people want to say Messi is not the GOAT, then that's fine. I just think it's a subjective thing and it's just for internet debate and for people to just go
I
back and
agree.
forth. In terms,
As I always tell people, just appreciate both footballers. That is
yep,
it. But
yep,
2008, they're saying that only 2008 they deserve the Ballon d'Or because I don't know where Aaron they're seeing all these arguments, but you bring them to us, so
yeah,
we're to that judging it.
no, obviously not. Listen, Messi is my player. I believe Messi has won Ballon d'Ors that he didn't deserve, and I also believe that he has lost Ballon d'Ors that he did deserve. Same thing with Ronaldo. To say that Ronaldo only deserve one Ballon d'Or, is absolutely insane.
Like,
Ludicrous
once
argument.
again.
You know, I wouldn't even take up that argument, boss. But just to answer, you want to give respect to your question. No, I don't agree with it. I think the Ballon d'Ors that you win. We can probably take out one and say no, he probably should have won that one. But then there's another one where he probably should have win and him lose. So
Ah,
you know, these are the arguments. So I'm not really
subjective
getting
thing.
that.
I agree. I'm probably trying to put it perfectly here and there. He's saying that go up there on Crawford for my sake. He's talking about Damian Crawford. Let's enjoy both players. We might not see those performances again. That's what I always tell
Absolutely,
people. Enjoy.
absolutely.
And I saw coming from when I was saying that Crystal Palace, Southampton, and Spurs are bogey teams for City. Yeah, they can always be bogey teams, but it's when you're in a title race, total different scenario. And here's Michelle saying that hoping Conor Gallagher will step up big against City again. But Kems, is there anything that you want to touch? Well, I know that you want to touch on Brooklyn Nets and Philadelphia 76ers.
Oh hell no! We already touched on that last night. We now go back this to that damn nightmare.
Go ahead and talk about
Um,
anything.
uh, what
Test
happened
match
today?
join.
Oh yeah, man. The test match definitely. As I said yesterday, I believe that the match will draw. But England look like them can. I think they're leading by 153 right now. But I think they will. They'll probably try bring it up to 250. Give it to you guys after lunch and try and
Yeah.
see what can happen if you guys get too early wickets. You never know. Um, it's the West Indies we're talking about, so you never know. But that player one named Permal. I don't know why is he in the side runs. So he's a run scat, and
Regional bully.
every
Take wickets
time,
in the regional cricket, but when it comes down to West Indies cricket,
like me I watch a man bowl. I think he bowled like 10 overs today. And not one ball, I see the man make the player come on the front foot. Pure back foot, I see root and them man, he just club him with. Just it's like you're bowling in the nets. Like you're in the nets and a bowl also. So I think he won't be there for the second test. Well, I know you guys will talk about that.
Yeah,
Deshaun Watson in the NFL. I know if you guys decide, if you guys follow it,
saw the
woman
news.
came out and say, you know, when he was getting his massages, he asked for massages in certain areas, made certain advances and all that kind of stuff. And they brought it to the grand jury to see if criminal charges should be placed, and they threw out that case, but obviously there's still a civil case. What the civil case shows me is that these women want money, right? So I think they thought of that match up real quick. He hasn't played in a year. He's one of the great quarterbacks in the league. We need him back out there. I think Lakers play tonight against Washington. Kyle Kuzma, back he's playing some good basketball back in LA. I expect the Lakers to struggle. They'll probably win, but they'll struggle. Philly lost, but again, it's one game. It's one game, and Philly lost by 50 points, 50 plus points against Boston this season as well. So it's one game. We move on, and so
Okay.
we'll be ready for the playoffs.
All right, Frana, yeah, there are some good games, and just to point out that Mount Pleasant lost last weekend to Tivoli Gardens in the JPL, so Mount Pleasant probably looking to bounce back. I knew that Waterhouse won their game, so they are right. I think they're leading the league right now, and some teams haven't impressed. Cavaliers are kind of struggling. I know that they have a young team as per usual, but they're struggling. So a lot of good games to look forward to. And guys, there won't be an NBA show this weekend, and there also won't be a males podcast show. So the NBA show and the males podcast will return next week. I hope that you
Oh,
guys shoot.
and one more thing I have to let them know. So, I don't know if you guys know him, but starting promoting, there's going to be a debate. There's some real cash prizes and things on the line for this debate. So this
Them know
will
him,
be
man.
huh?
They know
No
him.
man, them know Vincent. Vincent I tell you, man.
Of
So
course, they must know
Vincent,
Vincent.
so one of our own, one of our own analysts here on Sports Frenzzyy, Vincent, he will be debating the careless man on the radio. I'm gonna call him Zidane. They'll be debating the Jordan LeBron debate. Zidane decided that he wants to take LeBron James' side to say, hey, LeBron James is the greatest basketball player ever. And Vincent is saying, no, Michael Jordan is. So that debate will happen Saturday, 8 p.m. I think the debate, I was starting 8 p.m. sharp, not
Book on
8:05,
the
not
ticket.
8:06. Yeah, so book on the ticket. I already buy on the ticket, so just show up. I'm buying the ticket for me
See,
already, so just show up. So as Levon said, no basketball show this weekend, no males podcast this weekend, but we'll be back next weekend with some absolute fire. So looking forward to see you guys for sure.
yeah, man, friend, Arnett has been doing well, man, and Paul Teagat has been doing a good job. I probably think he probably a chip on his shoulder from what transpired at Mount Pleasant, but they have been doing well. And as I mentioned a couple of weeks ago, Mobile United is going back right down to where they were before. They're gonna get it. If relegation is a part of the league this season, they're going back down. So yeah, they haven't played good. They fired Ricky Hill because Ricky Hill came and said that he was going to instill a particular style of football and whatever not, but he never got the opportunity because he was on a losing run, so they got rid of him. So yeah, a lot of games to look forward to. And as Kems mentioned, ensure that you're there next week, guys. I don't want to see no one, two, three viewers. I want to see a lot of viewers next week. So ensure that every one of you guys tune in to that NBA show because it's going to be late, right? So mark it and let's get there. So big up to Kems for being here tonight again. Once I reach out, Kim's always here. Big up to our producer Josh calling this is possible. Thanks to all of you, our viewers, all the commenters, and all who sit behind the screen and don't comment. Big up on yourself, and hopefully for the West Indies fans, they can pull off a miracle tomorrow and win that test match. But what I'll say to you guys is that there's a lot of football action this weekend. Go and take in some football. So until we see again, hopefully Monday, stay safe All right, here's Freda saying that my youth hurry and get the laptop. You need the call in. Frano, you're there for that place. You could make it happen in a Frano. Come on, man. You love the show and you support the show, so why not make it happen? But big
Hey,
up on yourself, man. Yeah, man, show can go ahead, man.
no man, we in front of half here.
All right. So guys, until Monday, hopefully, I'll see you again. Stay safe, enjoy your weekend, and please be safe because I know that the weekends in Jamaica are generally bloody. So be as safe as possible and enjoy your weekend. Until Monday, stay safe. Peace out.